This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael. I'm still stuck in a haunted movie theater. And today I've seen Circuitry Man, a cyberpunk road movie kind of deal, from 1990, directed by Lory. Set in a world where humanity has moved underground, the film follows a bodyguard named Lory who, after a botched police setup, ends up with a briefcase full of high-grade computer chips that could net her millions. Looking to start a new life outside of Los Angeles, she travels to New York with the help of Danner, a biosynthetic man who knows how to traverse the underground tunnels of America. The two are pursued, both by the cops who are at the setup and by Plughead, the other party to the botched exchange, and a man who can plug into electronics to control them. While it's in a cyberpunk setting, the movie doesn't really make a great use of it. The underground cities of Los Angeles and New York are almost completely identical, looking more like wide but relatively empty set pieces than anything truly impressive. The rest of the underground seems to literally just be an empty parking garage as well, which makes for some impressive driving sequences, but otherwise is nothing worth looking at. Eventually, the characters move topside, which is a nice change of pace, but is still pretty empty, though this is mostly because it's a literal desert. I mean, it's different, so it's better than nothing, but on the other hand, it's still very underutilized and not exploited well at all. At the very least, the filmmakers make use of natural features for some shots. The rest of the film story is still pretty lackluster. There's enough motivation given for Lory and Danner to start their journey, but it's not something that's developed well over the course of the film. The supporting cast are also pretty one-note, and don't serve much purpose other than acting as obstacles or comic relief for the two, ultimately being unimportant for the most part. The only other character who has any significant impact would be Plughead, who I feel like most of his presence is carried by his physical appearance, which comes with a number of ports and slots in his head for wires to plug into, hence his name. I'd almost go as far as to say that if it weren't for him and for Danner, this movie would be less cyberpunk and more general post-apocalyptic, leaning more towards Mad Max than anything else. In any case, Circuitry Man as a whole seems to lack a great amount of effort to place itself within the genre, not to mention a good amount of effort across the rest of the film. The makeup for Plughead and the special effects work is pretty well done for a movie as low budget as this appears to be, but they're fairly limited to these examples rather than something spread out across the other elements of the film. The ending sequences of the film are also somewhat impressive, though this is more due to their surprise appearance and subsequent departure. Overall, I feel like the film tried to be something bigger than it could actually afford to be, and rather than work with its limitations, it tried and failed to reach its intended heights. Circuitry Man, Lory, 1990. 2 stars. It's fun enough that it might still be worth giving a watch, but it's not something you should go into with high hopes. And that's the end of the review. If you like this review, then please leave a like. If you have something to say, then leave a comment, and subscribe if you'd like more reviews from me. As for me, I'll just be hanging around here doing stuff.